Good stuff. Good. Well, Team Spirit, that looks like a slide our first pick. Shocking. I know. Crazy. And you guys have been watching any professional Dota lately. Turns out he's kind of the dude. If he's left in, he's almost always going to be first pick. Very rare that teams are going to skip over him. This time we have both the Ember as well as the Lone Druid removed, and then our Luna and Underlord. So Darkseer, Rubik, Lifesteal, these are all some of the top tier heroes. We are missing the Earth Spirit, perhaps a bit surprising, but these teams, only LQ playing it so far, I believe.
5 seconds.
Oh, actually, looks like Team Spirit did play it in one of their games too. So this is a rematch of 4 days ago when we last saw these guys play.
Yeah, and it was actually that game that we saw the Earth Spirit come out from Team Spirit, interestingly enough. They did have it with the Lone Druid, which has been banned this time, so maybe that was something that they really liked, that combination of heroes. But Chen was also picked in both of the games for Team Spirit, so I'm kind of wondering if that's going to be a ban that comes out, or if it's maybe something that LQ have devised a strategy to deal with. Do you like Chen this patch?
Definitely. I think he is one of the best... generally, I would say like 4 and 5 picks. Sometimes 3, maybe if you've like really banned out everything that's good. But Vengeful Spirit specifically is one of the best heroes I've seen teams use to enable Chen, because you just pick her up early enough that, like even right now against a Magic Community Core and the Lifestealer, maybe they get one channeling guy or something. You just pick up a Venge right now and they're like, oh yeah, that's probably support. I mean, it could be core, but it's probably support. And then maybe you start to think about other stuff. Then they pick up a Chen, and then you just have this position 1 Venge and a Chen in like the 4th or 5th pick, and you're just like, well, shit.
Yeah.
Like our draft was maybe not ready to handle so much early push. It's got a lot of sustain. That stuff gets really scary. So I think Chen and Enchantress can both fit into those. And oh, that's right. That was when we had our Chen versus Enchantress. Speaking of which, that was a fun game.
That was a great one.
Some creeps traded back and forth. So yeah, they're saying no. I mean, remember how effective FNG was on those rotations too on the Chen? It was unbelievable. He had, I want to say like 3 kills before 4 minutes or something, all in the mid lane.
Yeah, really impressive stuff.
Crazy.
And I think that you can still get that with Enchantress, too, if Team Spirit did want to take it. I'd be curious if LQ decide to take it themselves, just to ban it out and get that extra momentum going their ways. That's sometimes something that you see. But with Darkseer and Rubik, they already do have a lot of D-push, so they could handle, at least to some extent, some of that push that's coming their way, and maybe pick up another split-pushing hero along the rest of the way. It feels like LQ have come back with a good answer, at least the first opener, for what Team Spirit was throwing at them last time. And, of course, we did end up seeing LQ go down 2-0 to that lineup. So just heavily invested in split push here and team fight and counter push.
Yeah, and Team Spirit, a very different look compared to that whole Luna group up Chen push strategy that they ran both times. Previously, it'll just be all based on the Slider ganks and the Lifestealer. Now, at this point, if the Slider moves into that support role, then it is less dependent upon that. But the bans on the Earth Spirit and the Chen, I think, are warranted, even though Slider could fill the same role. I'd rather have them forced into like some other offlaner if this is going to be position 4 Slider. You really don't want to give them that Earth Spirit and Chen with Lifestealer, just like more mobility if you went for the Earth Spirit route, or just a crazy amount of push to kind of force you into these engagements that they might be able to capitalize on with the early blink on the Slider with their Lifestealer inside. So we still have the Weaver left in play. Not too bad if you want to continue a minus armor strategy, but then you can run into like issues, and we've seen teams do offlane Weaver like that to make that work. So possible, but maybe they'll start to look towards some sort of a minus armor mid other than SF as he's banned.
Yeah, there's a couple of different options there for where they'd want to go for it. But they also don't necessarily have to go for minus armor either. They could just go like for all-out damage and take like an Invoker Exort, maybe a little bit later on in the draft as well, and go for like the Sun Strikes that can be comboed together with that really nicely. I don't know. I think that they're super wide open right now, but against the team fight that you already have here with Darkseer and Sand King and Rubik, for Team Spirit, do you have to go for more of a split push style, or do you think that they could try and challenge this team fight superiority by taking something that's more oriented in that fashion?
If you did go all out, like, I don't know, you pick up a Queen or something like that, and you're just trying to use her early on, you're rotating around the map, like a high mobility mid to blink in with Slider or Lifestealer and try and get that burst. You definitely need to snowball early, because you're right, there is some seriously good team fight already from LQ. And with 2 picks left, if you start angling in a very one-dimensional draft from Team Spirit, they might look to try and capitalize on top of that in some sort of like a mid-game team fight strategy, get the squad moving together or something like that. So, yeah, I could definitely see them diversifying a little bit here and at least having some sort of a hero that can rotate around the map. A mid-jug or something could be really nice.
Ooh. Oh.
Or a mid-Jakiro. But this could be. I guess this is kind of like that Venge and their Slardar for that matter, where it's just like, well, you don't really know where he's going. He could do a couple different things here.
Yeah, maybe they saw a couple of peaks at that effect series that they're playing against when they ended up losing to the mid Jakiro themselves, which was the last game that they played in these qualifiers. Maybe they saw something that they liked there. It was a Slardar that was also taken in that with another Silencer. So just great initiation. Do you think that Silencer might be something that Team Spirit might go back for?
This game, well, if they get any sort of a mobile hero for LQ, for sure. Someone that is looking to dodge it out. Our Ember was banned in the first phase, but let's see, if they grabbed an Ember here, let's say, a hero of the same idea, then your Silencer is always going to be warranted. It's a nice little Helm build that everyone's been up to.
Ooh.
But I'd also start to look towards who could capitalize on this Jakiro's AoE under the assumption that he's more than likely going to be a support unless they end up picking some terrible matchup or something where Jakiro could just have free reign. They could also, we were thinking about like team fight and stuff like that and ways to force LQ to actually come and defend towers or something if they wanted to go for this Slider Lifestealer Bomb. We do still have Leshrac who's in play.
Ooh.
We've seen a lot of success from him too. So this could go like Jakiro, Leshrac or something like that, Slider off lane.
That'd be pretty. I mean, it's already a little bit of a weird draft, but if you go back for that Leshrac now, you kind of have the answer in the tower hitters, like Diabolic Edict, not to mention just all the liquid fire damage would really be hard to contend with. And honestly,
really good at Split Earths though.
Oh yeah, definitely. That would need to be the case. I also wouldn't mind seeing like a Slardar Jakiro offlane together.
Tinker.
Did I already miss you saying that? Tinker's going to get taken? Is that the route that they're going to go?
Probably at this point. And yeah, if this is the offlane Slider, then having some help with someone like Jakiro is great. And then you just go back for some other sort of position 5 to help out with your Lifestealer. Basically, I mean, there's plenty of options at that point. But I really like this Tinker. Team fight extraordinaire. They definitely have that in LQ. They do have a lot of stuns and decent blinks that'll be coming out, like Sand King, Rubik, and Sven more than likely will be willing to blink himself. Well, Darkseer eventually too, although he's not the best at catching out someone like Tinker. But the split push game, a little bit dangerous here for our mid hero.
Definitely.
It's a little bit spooky. Oh yeah, that would have been good too, eh? The Slider Batrider offlane, that's also an option.
Oh lordy. Yeah, that would have been nuts. Yeah. Well, Lifestealer taken as well as the Tinker, so we're probably just going back and looking for that last position 5 hero for Team Spirit. Who's going to be the next one to pick. And I don't know, is there anything that really ties this draft completely together? Something that they're missing in your eyes?
5 seconds remaining.
I kind of like the idea now of, well, let me think here. If the Lifestealer can set up decently for top. If this was a position 4 Slider instead, like let's say F&G takes the Slider, then Lifestealer could set up easily with open wounds, so if he's roaming around there, and they could go back for an offlane that helps out, just like that Batrider does, and then you get a little bit more value out of the Slider and his minus armor, because with the Warcry, it's just like the Slider is kind of reduced in some sense already, and you have a Tinker, so he's not going to be super active early on. I don't know if you need to jump crazy fast with a Blink Dagger or something when your mid won't be there for those engagements anyway. In that case, they could pick something more into like a dual lane sense, or they could just go again for like that Enchantress. I mean, Enchantress Slider was a nice combo, but it'll be the Axe, so that'll be probably a little bit of like 3.5 split between those two heroes, both of them trying to get quite a bit of farm in the lanes.
All right, I like that a lot, definitely, and your justification for it as well, going back and not having to rely so much on the Slardar is a huge part of the draft. Definitely works well. So. Great counter initiation is there from Team Spirit now. If you get a Slardar jump forward with the Crush or Axe being able to call people, they got a ton of team fight in their own right. It'll just come down to positioning, I would imagine, in a lot of these engagements. But last pick for LQ, mid-hero, I'm assuming.
Yeah, so what have we seen so far of them? We've seen the Alchemist in one game, and then we had the SL. Oh, wow. Meg, Sven, Darkseer. I mean, jeez. They opened with 3 team fight, and they end with, I would call, 5 team fight. That's pretty crazy.
Damn.
I love Magnus so far this patch. I love the Echo Saber build everyone's up to. It's crazy how much damage you can output. It's unbelievable. And Sven, we've seen him have some trouble since the 7.00. You don't get nearly as much farm because of the camps and the 2 minutes now. Having that in power can definitely help you chew through the camps that are there and then actually like get active with your team and just as well as abuse ancients too. So.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going into it. Game number 1 in the lower bracket finals. It's Team Spirit facing off against LQ. And, you know, I've got to say, for myself, I'm feeling like LQ have this with the draft. You have a lot that's coming out from Team Spirit as far as, like, early fights. But if LQ are able to weather the initial storm and get out of the laning stage okay, I don't know if Lifestealer is going to be able to find as many pickoffs as he would like. I don't know if... You know, you're going to be able to get great initiations with Axe when there's so much counter initiation and counterplay from LQ. What's your read on how this game is going to play out?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty similar. Team Spirit, again, a team we don't really know much about at this point. They only played the first 2 games against LQ, which both went very well, and Team Spirit did look great, but they had this Chen and this Luna both times, which was probably at least some sort of a drafting error in the second one, or maybe just an underestimation by LQ. They looked very good with the strategy, great rotations for the Chen early on, and it almost looked slightly easy for Team Spirit, at least in the first game. The second game, they definitely shaped up quite a bit from LQ, but anyway, when they then went to that second series for Team Spirit against Effect, didn't go nearly as well for Team Spirit. The Chen was removed every game. They were still taking care of that Underlord too to make sure they couldn't get it, and they didn't look quite as sharp. Effect kind of ran them over, both games around 30 minutes long, which isn't exactly too common in these patches. So the game definitely looks easier, I would say, for LQ. I think they have a solid lineup that doesn't even rely on like massive, like we talk about ease of execution or something. You don't need to hit like vacuum, RP, bro strike on 5 heroes every time. It's more like just RP like 1 or 2 guys and you're probably going to win these fights.
Yeah, no, definitely. And with the 2 core or 3 of your, not cores necessarily, Slaughter is going to be that position, like 3.5 you're saying, but 3 of them that are melee, Magnus, Darkseer, all these heroes just become so much more valuable. And, well, I'm definitely agreeing with you right now. We'll see how it ends up working out for them. Other things worth noting already is these wards were placed down, not quite scouted. Sunlight was just right away from breaking the smoke of the Slaughter as he ran through, and well, they're going to miss on a D ward, and they are going to place down another one, but this might have gotten scouted as well by the observer ward that was planted. Yeah, kind of the Chen thing. It sort of was like playing on with training wheels a little bit for Team Spirit in that first series against LQ, and we'll see if they found the answer to beat him.
Yeah, lanes then, so having the Lifestealer, just the Darkseer, they'll be quite happy with this and apply as much pressure early on with Advanced Score. This is going to heavily reduce the experience you're going to have for DA Phobos as well as FNG, just by having the Jakiro down here, but at the same time, you know that this Rubik and this Sank are going to be trying to do something early on, so it's a good play to try and get this done. We'll see, maybe they'll dive too deep and then get a counterplay from FNG here.
They got the initial D ward off as well, and now they're going to find them. Sunlight going to... I'll try and wrap around, but the Liquid Fire is just going to be very difficult to contend with in this lane. Granted, he's not going to get the cooldown down super low until later levels, but something to keep our eye on.
Yeah, top lane will be relatively boring in that 1v1 matchup. Not exactly much to happen there. Lifestealer versus Darkseer, no issue. Both will just kind of happily farm away. Lifestealer is trying to deny as many creeps as possible.
Also mid, you do have the blind that's going to be a problem for Scandal, but he can also farm with Shockwave if he wants to. We'll just have to keep our eye on Iceberg, and there's a chance that they end up getting like a quick burst down with the Rocket's laser if Scandal steps too far out of position. But would definitely be a mistake if that happens.
Yeah, likewise too, just sometimes when you're working with the blind as Iceberg, you might be punishing a little bit too hard and could get caught out with like a skewer or something weird, so definitely kill potential in this lane. For the most part, that'll just be Iceberg being kind of a jerk and trying to sidestep Shockwaves.
Well, 8-2 for him, 7-1. Meanwhile, down here bottom, the farm is going completely evenly. I guess what the other thing to keep our eyes on is probably going to be the amount of regen that each of these teams has. Looks like they're running somewhat low on tangos, and of course, with the Dire side having that shrine nearby, they could end up trying to take advantage of that a little bit.
What surge is this?
Yeah, I would really like to get a little bit of bullying going on here, I'm sure. Try and make good use of it. Now, FNG, he's just hunting bounty runes. Steals the Radiance, goes back and gets his own.
Yeah. And Vanscore obviously not very quick, but also is going to be able to get a bit more experience while this is happening. And so, getting that level 2 up for him, they do a lot of damage. You need to be careful, though. If they step too far out of bounds, then I'll punish pretty heavily. But they don't have vision. And now they see FNG. There's going to be the dual breath down as well. Liquid fire to follow. They don't get the call off quite in time. And Ulk looking to run away, blow your brain, throws out the stun, and that should ensure the escape for Ulk, who is now completely out of regen.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's not very much to expend it all for the Dire, and once again, they do have the Shrine there, too, so... That was scary. Jeez. Ooh, yeah, that's a level 2 axe. That's a hell of a lot of creeps.
That would have been pretty bad, but not deciding to scare. The other thing about this is they've actually sent FNG off. He's going to go get, I guess, maybe a little bit of rotation to see if he can punish Funnick up here, and
yeah,
they can hold this lane.
You know, the Darkseer is more than likely going to be playing around you right now, so even level 1 open wounds has the potential to set up a kill here.
I'll have to keep our eye on it. I guess FNG is maybe just waiting to go pick up all the bounty runes, possibly. He's going to head down over towards the...
He'll just do this.
It's still here.
4-minute mark. Oh, that's a nice find.
Yeah.
That was probably...
How much net worth does this guy have? He's going to be up ahead of the Axe pretty soon with 0 last hits. This is what you do now in this game. Just go pick up bounty runes.
This looks like GH on like his level 1 Pudge and stuff when he's just wandering around the whole map grabbing bounty runes. Funnick will get the Dire one though, so
okay,
a little better this time.
Looks like FNG might take the long route around, and the courier is not
going to
know
be sniped. He's back here too, though, just because this ward has been up there.
Okay, well, send the courier back. No great chance for a kill there. They are going to at least be somewhat in the area of mid, and Scandal does need to be slightly careful, but like you said, I'm sure he realizes the potential danger.
Yeah, this bottom lane is definitely not working out for LQ right now. They've committed 3 heroes down here for so long. Finally getting a kill would be great.
Stacking up the stuns, trying to go for it. DK Phobos run away. He has the bonus armor. 18 HP is not going to go down, and now maybe blow your brain in some trouble? No, but yeah, a lot committed for that one. And DK Phobos, well, they haven't used the shrine either, so God, that hurts.
Great job saving that too. And so I think you'll get a little bit of mana. But I feel like they felt pressure to try and do something there because they've been holding 3 heroes down here for so long and not doing anything, but the wave's just up here, and there's nothing you can do at that point.
Yeah. Well, frustrating start for sure, and it hasn't been the worst laning stage in the world, but it is tilting a little bit further into Team Spirit's favor. Just have to keep our eyes on how the next couple of minutes unfold here as Vanscore are going to try and deal a bit of damage there to Blow Your Brain, who's going to take a lot of this. Man, the DOT, really frustrating to deal with.
Yeah, really stacking up there. Getting a little concerned for him, but again, pushing him out, and the fact that it just doesn't cost anything. Just like Clarity's up, Dual Breath, quite a bit of damage for what it's worth.
Yeah.
And as long as he's low, he also can't really engage into and go for any sort of a play without risking some axe spins. So just keeping him at like 30% essentially negates the fact that you could die in lane.
Well, and the other thing is none of these other lanes are going exceptionally well relative to their compatriots on the other side. So Scandal, for instance, he does have 27 last hits compared to the 36. And up top, Darkseer is pretty much on parity with BZZ. So this lane is feeling like it could be the deciding factor, at least until we get into the team fights towards mid-game.
Yeah, BZZ is killing on those denies, though.
Yeah.
18. I mean, you tend to see this up against just a Darkseer, but still pretty funny. Now, up until level 3, Iron Shell, much more difficult to achieve. In fact, it can be 4 now as he cracks into 7s, so... Funnick's ready to maybe get a little bit of help of his own, or at least try and help out some other lane. Difficult, again, he can't really rotate down bottom, because of where the creep wave's been sitting this whole time. They're starting to get a little bit better control of it right now, as they've got this ward here, they've got LQ denying some creeps, and now the wave is going to start to rest over here. So the Dire backup, they could potentially smoke in and try and find something. They could try and head mid. They could even try and head top too, and try and do like a rat play on the Darkseer, but It appears it is time to do something else. DK Phobos will stack camp and start maybe eyeing some other objectives from the supports here.
And you can see also they spotted this ward when it was placed down by Scandal, so whatever little vision he might have had there is taken away from him as well. Still 0-0, but it feels like Team Spirit are definitely getting a bit of a snowball rolling just by virtue of this laning phase. And, well, advanced score here as well.
Very sneaky.
This is nice.
Just got a catapult of experience that was that had just gone down a moment ago, so that was nice for him.
Same level as Sven and Rubik. And they are back over in this area checking things out, but, well, advanced score is still hiding. Fine and dandy.
Still no first blood. We're almost 8 minutes in. A Slardar and an Axe. A Sven, a Sand King, and a Rubik Trilane knocking a kill this early is just... I believe one could probably call it disaster. It's pretty brutal. Bloody Brain, there you go. He throws a stun on Van Score and he can't even last it. That's how bad this liquid fire is.
Funnick wants it. They got a crush. All right, now they have the call as well if they wanted to go for it. And it's chasing with the battle hunger. They're going to be able to get the right clicks down and on top of them. And Funnick trying to jump out and away. We missed the first blood in the mid lane as Iceberg goes down. And Funnick also going to escape. So a pretty rough little combination there. They are going to bring back in Sunlight, who might end up being the one who goes down for this. As well, the chase, maybe not. Can they catch up to him? He takes the bounty rune as well, trying to run away. Funnick comes back in, drawing aggro away from the rest of his team, and with the Ion Shells there, they're forced backing away. BZZ maybe also going to be in trouble as well. He's inside of the creeps. The Burrow Strike comes through onto FNG, and they're going to be able to get the stun that comes out. Nice body blocks from Lalk, and they find another kill. LQ. Well, flurry of action, they make it work.
Man, Team Spirit got penned in. They're just running in a circle around that bounty rune. It's like, what are we gonna kill? What are we gonna do? And eventually gain nothing and lose a second hero. So yeah, that gank mid. I did see Iceberg. He was starting to run down the Magnus, and then maybe that's what happened. He got turned around on as there was a rotation from Lalk to the mid, as well as Sunlight. So very nicely done from LQ. Finally getting something done with those two supports that have been rather lame so far this game. Just kind of chilling bottom, trying to do the best they can, but not much given the lane that was offered to them. So Blow Your Brain leaves said lane. He's now rotating through the jungle and then over to the mid lane. And it might be time for someone like Sunlight or even Lalk to head bottom and try and get some of this experience and gold.
Yeah, I mean, it is completely free. And the other thing about that was, you know what it might have been too? I don't know if it was this, but the Sand King had gotten an Invis rune right before he headed over mid, but it was under a ward, so I expected that they weren't going to end up running into too much issues. Oh my god, no, not again.
He was trying to march the Ancients.
Oh god. Funnick taking one of his creeps away as well. Is that before bots too? No, he got his bots at least. Okay. But,
oh, that's very important actually. It's a big deal. Well, bottom lane, Vanscore caught. FNG going to try and counterplay this.
Oh, Lalak able to dodge away though, and now the chase going to continue. They get the pullback. He's going to go down as well, and this is the problem. These little skirmishes. LQ are just so strong right now.
It's good. We're finally getting a chance to see it too.
Yeah.
From no kills in 8 minutes to 4 more in the next 2 over that. So FNG not quite level 5 yet. No armlet yet for BZZ.
Uses RP in the mid lane to escape a hasted DK Phobos. That kept him alive.
All right, that'll do.
Yeah.
Not exactly the ideal scenario, but he's still farming up towards the Echo Saber.
Well, I guess this is the answer. If your laning stage doesn't go well, just start fighting people. Definitely looking better now. They catch a stun onto one. They're going to go for the epi as well. Dealing a good bit of damage. BZZ is turned up, though, and is going to be able to find that kill with the help of Iceberg. Well, now Sunlight has stolen himself a rearm. I don't know if that's what he was looking for, but kind of an interesting one.
At least it's level 1 when you can actually use it as a Rubik.
Yeah.
Once it gets up there, the mana cost is just brutal.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Good rotation in from our Tinker to snag up that first kill. Try and get his own snowball rolling here. And, Scandal, he's going to opt right in for the Echo Saber. Not going to go for the early blink. Just wants that straight up good damage. We've seen plenty of Magnuses be successful with this build already, so not too surprising. As well as all the other control in his team too. He can just use these Burrow Strikes and his Storm Hammers and try and set up some nice RPs off of that mid engagement rather than the initiators. Yeah, thanks.
Funnick. That was really good. He vacuumed them back through the trees. I don't know. I guess they had one creep back here that had vision. So they're able to get him, but
Dire's top tower is
Funnick,
under
he's been playing a great game.
Dire's
Yeah, he's been just up here the whole time, spamming iron shells. He's also been farming up this camp and stacking it over here too, so he's getting extra rich. He has his arcane, soul ring, and mechanism, and I think he must have just bought something else too, or I guess he already spent Skrilla. Oh, he probably just finished his arcane to the side drop or something there. But either way, he's rich. Happiest person on the Radiant side so far. He is still behind a Lifestealer, as well as a Tinker though. And speaking of which, DK Phobos is on the hunt with our Infest Bomb. Oh, Sunlight might be an unfortunate victim if he shows mid here, but he won't.
Well, the unfortunate part, it feels like, is that they have Team Spirit, since getting a nice early lead with the Vision, not been able to place down as many of the Observer wards and aggressive positioning. So, yeah, not the best. They're not going to be able to get this initiation too easily as the Radiant scanning back this area. They're not going to find anybody, and maybe DK Phobos runs. Yeah, he's going to get the Rubik. This should be a kill. Call, jump out. There's the damage.
The question is, can they counter though?
Radiant's bottom
They were all
tower
nearby
is under
expecting
attack.
some sort of a gank, but Sunlight ends up being the one to tank it. And now they're in kind of an awkward spot too, because they don't really want to approach this far. They have a Jakiro that's going to push in mid, so they try and make this run down bottom. They likely won't get there in time. And even with that stun mid, they can't follow up in time. Perhaps not a fast enough communication there is what was going on. Just 2 TPs right away.
Lolic, is going to get slowed by the dual breath, but they found a PCC. Everybody on top of him. All right, Sand King. There's no way out from that one. It's kind of just done.
Yeah, mistakes were made. He just got baited in by Sven so hard. That's like all on Blow Your Brain. Just like throws the stun and just leaves. Dude, come on. Like, what? He's going to ditch me like that? And so that they're firing back with the kills. They don't end up getting anything on that bottom tower at the very least, but Team Spirit very happy. There's a burden right now on LQ. Try and get some pressure going of their own. Try and stop Iceberg, but who's going to do anything about it? They don't have enough farm on the sports yet for a Blink Dagger. Funnick is a Darkseer, so he's not one of those earlier initiators.
Yeah.
He's just like meching up in the jungle.
Maybe a surge forward into bevy of stuns, but it's not feeling like that's the case. Man, Funnick again, just getting the max range on these vacuums. I mean, we've been seeing a lot of him play throughout these qualifiers, and I've been impressed pretty much every game that I've watched him. I don't know, something to keep our eyes out for, depending upon how these matches go.
I just hope we get another pause so I can see his 1% drawing skills on the minimap.
Oh, yeah.
That was some solid stuff. Good job, Funnick. He knows how to embrace it.
Yeah, definitely. Well, the early Blink Dagger was there for the Axe. We're still a little ways away from the Slardar, but considering that it's this position 4-ish Slardar and has level 7 already, Lolic might be getting baited in again. They're chasing. They do have FNG there. Not going to be able to catch up, it looks like.
Yeah, it's Sunlight now nearby. Has a smoke. And it was hard to tell. Yeah, they see him for sure. This Dire Ward spawning over on a nice angle, so well aware of all the heroes here.
Ooh. They do have another ward placed down, though. Sunlight placed that as soon as he got Corrosive Hazed. And that one should be dewarded pretty quickly. You don't want to give away this type of vision here in the jungle.
Yeah, that was pinged almost immediately. DK Phobos, he made a long run down bottom. He hasn't really been up to too much. He came like all the way down here to grab BZZ, but then there was no one here, so BZZ just farming and waiting. I like this though, that he didn't just like immediately hop in and camp the tower or anything like that. Yeah. They are still getting some net worth stacking on the Lifestealer, not making that mistake that we often see of just roaming around the map, unable to find anything.
Well, and this movement down here, LQ looking for somebody to come in, but nobody's home. They're all just out around the rest of the map, and it looks like FNG, well, they should be going for the D ward right now. Places it down, and it's gone now. And I think that this is another thing that's sort of all set up by this ward over here by the Bounty Rune, that they saw the Rubik coming in. They knew he was going to head this direction, and they wait for him to place it.
Yeah, exactly. One of the best things so far about LQ is they did not catch out Scandal. So he's had that Echo Saver, and then for a long time now been working on that Blink Dagger. Not too far away. This gank will certainly help. Our best initiation, probably going to come from like a surged Sand King, honestly.
He is leading the charge. But again, just a little bit too late here, LQ. They are not going to find the rest of Team Spirit, who have now retreated back into their own jungle, and they're getting prepped up for a battle if it does come their direction. But the feeling that LQ here is just going to try and press out the wave, and then I'm not exactly sure. They kind of just need to keep farming. It's time to empower Sand King. Come on, Scandal, be a bud.
Yeah, at least they did get vision back over some parts of the jungle like up here, but it was a little awkward to smoke like directly into your own vision that was already laid down on the bottom half of that. So they maybe expecting that they were smoked up or something from Team Spirit as they didn't have much vision around the map. But for now, they just wait. Smoke up did happen, at least from Vanscore, as he's up top waiting to see if someone will rotate in. But it should just be a pretty easy tower push. And even when Iceberg's off the map, they always have that threat of him just coming in and chucking out these lasers and disrupting the Sven and Magnus from putting out their max combo stuff.
Oh, and LQ just very much hemmed in right now, as is to some extent Team Spirit. I mean, like you said, Iceberg is going to keep these waves pushed out, so they'll be getting something out of the map, even if they're kind of grouping up together with the other four. But mid lane, LQ is going to be able to take down this tower in just a second, while top lane pressured in and still not really wanting to fight. Team Spirit. Slow and steady.
Yeah, I think until they really have that initiation, it's very difficult for them to do anything from LQ. So mostly just waiting on Scandal's blink to be the one to first kickstart the ball for them, and then if they can just win one good fight with that, that's gonna start shoving a lot of their own supports into their mobility too. So, oh, I guess Lolik has his blink dagger now actually, so we'll be looking towards that.
He got empowered too, so I'm happy.
Oh, there you go.
That's the ultimate win. Actually, it's pretty cool on Sand King. I like it. Just like doubly farm things. But in the meantime, it does look like Jakiro now is going to be going back for Yule's Scepter and then into Force Staff. He's already got those all queued up. Knows which way he wants to go with his team. And Iceberg, Blink Dagger, Aether Lens should be completed very shortly. So they're going to have a really potent fight in Force with this. To mention the Slardar Blink Dagger, which is just now picked up.
All right, so all the blinks online for the most part, at least the important ones. Darkseer, got our Magnus, got our Sand King. We'll have to wait a little while longer for Blow Your Brain, see if he goes just for the Echo Saber next. I would think they probably want a little bit more damage, but we'll see if he feels like just the extra mobility will again help out his team.
You know what this reminds me of? This is like in StarCraft or Warcraft 3, whatever. It's like no rush 20 minutes. We're at the 20-minute marks. Nobody's going to like try to battle each other down, wait for all the items are up, and then you go for it. You know what I'm talking about at all?
Yeah, no, I that's what it looks like. Although, except it was some other game. We used to do that in, what was that? Yuri's Revenge, Command & Conquer. That was the one. Yeah, good old Yuri. Classic game.
Oh, look at this.
Well, DK Phobos is all alone. Not a happy axe. Where's his best buddy? What's going on here?
I think he's inside the
FNG, they're like, this is pretty clever. They're like baiting DK Phobos as if he's going to be the one who has something inside of him.
Oh, they're looking. They want this. Blink forward. Funnick trying to fight. Getting a little bit antsy, and this is going to be a little bit into the favor of LQ if they fight on this high ground. Iceberg is also here with his Blink Dagger. This is squaring up to be one of those big engagements. If they can pick off the Sven right at the start, it would be huge, but I don't know if that's going to happen.
Yeah, so they just wiped the wave. LQ moving away, and nothing happened. Maybe they can just push mid with some ion shells and try and set up there. They don't have any good vision around the area, though. They're the best one just down here on some shrines. But DK Phobos has already come mid. Okay, gonna head into Roche. This is a decent solution to the current situation.
This is a very weird one. What do you think about this speed aura creep for the Kobold Foot, or Four-Man rather? Kind of a weird
that's a good
creep.
one. I like it when you're doing these rotations around the map. Maybe he just didn't like see a purge creep. I'm sure he'd probably just rather have a purge creep for the most part, but
yeah.
This guy's not bad. Hit by that Blink Dagger too, so they have an insane initiation on the side of LQ, just they haven't really been able to find any enemies to kill.
Yeah. Kind of a frustrating situation, I'm sure, but now with Roche, it also is going to be another situation now where I don't think that Team Spirit are going to want to fight into this. Like, maybe you go for pickoff game at this point, and they do have that really potently with, you know, the Iceberg and a bunch of Blink Daggers, but they might just have to wait for Aegis to expire.
They might just get it right here.
Oh my god. Is this really going to happen? Blow Your Brain, he is getting very greedy. He has Empower.
Oh, they're all coming now, though. They saw it on the scan, though.
Okay.
Just caught Scandal. So they shouldn't go in here.
Iceberg is maybe baiting this out. No, he's going to blink away. God, they need some vision, though. FNG is kind of just in no man's land. And because of this, they're going to run a DK Phobos, so FNG needs to get out. They're going to chase him down a little bit, stun as well, everything. He's gone. But they get the tier 2.
All right, well, it certainly doesn't cost me anything. Just in terms of the Radiant, that is. Like, no ultimates expended. Simple blink stun from one of their numerous blinks as they rock 4 at this point. I'm sure Sunlight looking to join the club eventually. Might be a little bit of overkill, but I'm okay with 5 blink daggers.
Yeah, there's 8. There's so far 7 in the game.
Lolic
On top of
Iceberg.
it? Oh my god, no. Epicenter comes in as well. I was looking at all the blink daggers. So, alright, this has really gone from bad to worse so far. And LQ, they're not really stopping.
No, you look at LQ and you're kind of expecting them to be that big high ground defending team. And it's likely going to be Team Spirit. They'll have the Agnum Scepter up on the Tinker. Well, maybe not. I mean, they still have Aegis. There's really no reason to stop this. You'd love to force out a buyback. This is kind of trouble mode. Vanscore is pushing into your tier 3, but I don't know. Can you really do enough as support? Are they just going to give up the full lane here?
I mean, he can get a couple more of those liquid fires down, but they get the skewer back onto DK Phobos. Vacuum just thrown all over the place. He is going to end up going down there. BZZ trying to chase, but going to be able to surge away below your brain.
Vanscore is still bottom. And he got a lot done. He's dead now, though.
Oh, good blink out there. Lolic able to catch on to him.
He's just like, yeah,
right.
I'm just going to liquid fire this tower.
That makes sense. This is what you need to do at this point. And now Rubik has stolen Ice Path, though, so that sucks. They do get one more hit off, and we'll be able to get the deny. So, at least something. They also were able to pick off Darkseer while that was happening.
All right, that's a pretty big win considering. So we had a Blink RP Skewer into Darkseer wall to kill just the Axe. And then they're forced back the TP, and then they're able to kill the Darkseer too. So overall, probably favoring the side of Team Spirit. LQ not getting any objective on the high ground, but still in an okay spot here. About 3,000 net worth, not a very big deal though. Not a very large margin up against a Tinker who's closing in on Aghanims very shortly.
The experience is kind of a different story. That one's marching towards the 10k mark, and these are a bunch of heroes that do a lot with their levels, and we'll have to keep our eyes on it. Anything really standing out for you as far as like talents that could be really big this game? I haven't seen the Magnus ones that much. Minus 35 respawn time? That seems like the way to go, right?
The Magnus one, let's see.
Yeah. Cooldown.
That seems pretty good. I do like Shockwave too, though.
Yeah.
In a game like this, pretty squishy supports. We'll have to see, but man, how's that fair? Only 35? Like, where's the 50, dude? Lone Druid, honestly, that's ridiculous. I guess it makes sense though, because they were like, oh well, it doesn't matter how much Lone Druid's cooldown is, because if he doesn't have the berries, useless anyway, and blah blah blah. Well, showed you. Take that, Ice Frog.
Oh, DK Phobos. He's out and alone and going to end up dropping. I will say that they're kind of playing this in a split-pushing manner, though. Like, it's just one hero on one side of the map, and if you rotate 4 or 5 to get that kill, do you think it's still worth it?
I think it is for LQ, yeah. They have a path to victory here, I would say, where it's just close out this tower, get the next tower. They're just trying to like march everything down as fast as they can while they still have this Aegis. They're very strong right now.
Well, mid lane, Vanscore still doing as much damage as he can. He is going to get caught here, and well, does not want to use Ice Path.
He's dead while he does this.
Yeah.
Like, they have so many blink daggers that if you just want to push the tower, the moment one person TPs, you will die.
Oh, so meanwhile, they're chasing this down. Iceberg finds one. The Corrosive Haze on top of the Rubik was enough to get the kill. Crush, there's going to be the catch. Scandal in some trouble. They have Iceberg still dealing out the damage. The rest of the side of LQ is showing up, though, and Funnick now on top of him. Iceberg forced backing away, canceling his RP, though. And they are going to be able to catch onto Iceberg. The Epicenter's coming out as well. Funnick going to try and chase this, and he should end up going down. So 3 dead for Spirit. They were able to take 2 in response, though, and maybe the fight not quite done yet as BZZ going back in. DK Phobos there as well. Burrow connects. They don't have Epi now. Vacuum back onto 2. They're looking for the counterplay. There's the call onto 3. BZZ is going to die to the AoE, though. Oh, man, that was so close.
Man, that Aegis must have just expired when he went down. I think I heard the noise, like, momentarily before before he lost his life there. So pretty rough for Sven. Maybe he was okay with just being singled out there.
Dire's
And
bottom tower is under attack.
overall, Team Spirit, you gotta be pretty happy with how that went down. Honestly, I mean, it could have went better, but I feel like a little bit of a maybe missed opportunity there with the RP, where he really wanted to wait for the blink to try and find the perfect one. But then he saw him blink back in, and he's like, "Oh shit! Like, where did that 3-man RP go, guys? It was right here a second ago. It slipped away." And then the second one he got was nicely reinitiated there from our axe. So Team Spirit are holding on.
Yeah.
And only these tier 2s now remaining for them to take down before the shrines open up. And then the next Roche, probably going to be a pretty big moment here for LQ.
I'm kind of curious what you think about this way that the Jakiro's been playing this. Like, he's basically a suicide bomber running into these towers and just knowing he's going to die, to the point where he's not even carrying a TP anymore. Like, he's going around ready to hit the towers until he dies, basically.
I had to double check there just before the Aegis. So it looks like it was like about 5 seconds before he died. It's kind of rough.
Yeah, that sucks.
That's a sad situation. But yeah, I feel like he just doesn't have anything else to do for Vanscore. They need some aspect of split push, because this is a 5-man lineup. So just like when you're talking about during the draft, we're like, well, they're just drafting all this team fight. So what are you gonna do? Like, how can you just dodge it and not deal with it? Vanscore is the closest thing they have to that on their team, other than the Tinker. Like, Tinker can do it himself too, but if he can't see it on the map, then he's worried about going too deep, because they could just be camping the lane. So instead, it's just Vanscore, and he knows he'll die. And that's fine. He's a Jakiro. He's got a 4-staff.
Yeah. And he does have the follow-up. Like, in team fights, he can be pretty effective. Nice
Phonics
decision there. Vanscore realizes he wouldn't be long for this world, so he's going to head out. Doesn't get another liquid fire onto the tower, but they have been able to bring all of these very low, and we saw what happened in the bottom tier 3. I mean, let's keep in mind, Team Spirit, the first team to take down a tier 3 tower.
Yeah, that's right. As well as surprisingly even on tier 2s. Definitely would not be expecting that right now. Current situation they've been in, but
Well, your brain has kept this Kobold Foreman as well. He's very happy to have this one, and bottom lane pressured in by BZZ. We'll see if it ends up continuing to work for him as he goes in, takes the Ancients, and
look at this too. They're hoping they can get something off this Infest. And Law's going way back with those creeps. Yeah, he knows. He knows something's up.
yeah. So, good stuff right there. DK Phobos, does he have vision of any of these heroes walking by? It does not look like it, but they do just now see Funnick. And Funnick, he is going to be going to this low ground, a very dangerous place to farm. The initiation comes out, a quick and easy kill. Don't even get the dunk, but BZZ picks it up.
Yeah, they need to be really careful going for these plays on the side Team Spirit, though, because if they lose this gem, that would be very, very bad for them. Really close out any of these opportunities. They rely so heavily on this vision if they want to try and get these kills to keep themselves in the game. So FNG just cannot go down. BCC, I don't know, if Blurbrain's that close, oh, this is scary.
They've got the counterplay that can come in just a second, though. BZZ dropping low, trying to run out and away. DK Phobos ready for the call, able to find it, but the RP turnaround. They take down BZZ yet again with all of the cleave damage, and now Iceberg in the area as well, trying to deal out damage with the rockets. He does have an Aghanims. If he's able to get the blind off, trying to chase this down now, and the jump forward, Sunlight, is he in range? No, he's inside the trees. Can't quite get there with the laser, still chasing. It's not going to be enough damage, at least for now. Blurbrain is going to go down there. So 3 dead, and LQ really heavily punished for that kill on the Lifestealer.
Man, FNG waited so long. Had he gone in, like, even right after, around the same time as DK Phobos, he probably would have went down there as that RP counterplay came through. And you know there's just so much counterplay. We know how many blinks are on the Radiant side there, so difficult, I would guess, for him to watch all that, but he made the right moment.
Vacuum wall back into 2. They got the skewer a little bit off the mark, so Scandal not with the rest of his team, and the Ice Path is going to go down. Lalik trying to get out and away, and is going to be able to dodge away from the damage coming out. Vanscore not going to be able to get the liquid fire off, and Funnick gets a double there. So it turns back around just as quickly as it happened.
All right, well. So much for starting to amount a little bit of a comeback in terms of the overall experience in gold here. Yeah, they'll both dip a little bit, but this will help stabilize it somewhat to the side of LQ.
Yeah.
And this, once again, just throws that pressure of trying to go through these ganks once more on Team Spirit. They'll lose a little bit of that map control. Iceberg as well. Ooh, very short blink. That's enough.
Oh, that was close. That was really, really close.
That would have been a very bad catch out. Also the fact, again, that FNG lives, huge for them. They need that gem. And they have now lost the majority of their vision. A little D-ward down bomb there from Sunlight, so maybe while Vanscore's on his march to death, we could take a couple observer wards with him next time, although we don't know how many are in stock right now because the shop changed, but wouldn't mind seeing him plopping some down.
You know, I'm going to mention this. If Team Spirit are able to win this game, I feel like that really pushes them up to that next level of contender almost, because the only way that we've seen them win up until now was with the, like, 5-man Chen lineup. And this is playing heroes that aren't good at split push in a split pushing way, and they're still coming out ahead on occasion, which is just really impressive to me. Granted, the experience gain completely into the favor of LQ, but it's starting to feel like it's tilting back into the favor of Team Spirit.
Yeah, it's pretty unbelievable just how close that gold is right now. The net worth you would feel should be so much higher for the side of LQ, just for how long they've had this advantage. FNG, precarious spot here, but no one here to capitalize. They're close, but not close enough. He'll safely blink himself up there. And with his... Oh, he's got himself that 4-staff now, too, so... Much more mobile. He really needed that 4-staff in the last fight. Had he had that, it probably would have went even better for Team Spirit. He was having a difficult time with just the blink dagger trying to catch up. So they'll scout first, no Roche. And a 5-man smoke as well here from the Radiant side.
This is looking like it could be a very, very game-defining fight. Sunlight is leading the way.
The thing about these fights is that Team Spirit, they have 2 initiations. They have the Blink Crush, and then they have the call. So if they initiate first, they can't really win the fight easily.
Oh god, well look there, he gets the first initiation, Burrow Strike is off, and they pop the BKB, there's the RP as well. Vanscore going to be pulled in away from everybody else. They're doing so much damage. Scandal with the triple kill. Holy crap, Vanscore also in trouble. And that is the wombo of the combos, as Vanscore is going to get ran down. Scandal Ultron Mag. Oh baby.
Moloch almost dies with the Amplify and the creeps. But yeah, that just shows right there though. They have RP, they have Stormhammer, then they have Burrow Strike too. Then all of that plus a vacuum. They have all these options and opportunities that if you initiate on a single person, if you provide any sort of a moment for LQ to see 2 people next to each other, it's virtually guaranteed those 2 heroes will get stunned. But when you're behind in the game and you're trying to get back into it, the whole point is you're supposed to smoke. Just find someone, grab him, and kill him. But if you're initiating on anyone near the side of LQ, it's so unlikely that it goes well for Team Spirit, it's just kind of like the reality of the situation. It's not really much you can play around other than hoping that they jump the wrong target from your opponent's side.
And like one thing that you could potentially have to mitigate this would be a laser from Tinker to try and get that blind off so all of that damage doesn't start being dealt. But the problem is they got 2 BKBs on the heavy damage dealers, so they don't care. Need to wait until those BKBs go down or try and bait out some of these spells. Bottom lane, they are going to be able to find Iceberg yet again, and well, trying to get out and away, not going to happen. They lose the split pushing Tinker, and everything falling apart for Team Spirit here.
Yeah, Funnock now even on his way to a scythe to make that even easier next time.
Oh,
they still have 1 tier 2 left at the very least. Hold their shrines near the Roche pit. But that won't be relevant for a long while until Blow Your Brain loses the current Aegis, and he's almost up into his AC here, so likely to start looking towards the beginning of the ends here, at least for the game plan of LQ.
Yeah, they need to go back to what they were doing solo before, and you can see what it is. Just Vanscore wants to head up top and sacrifice his life for towers, but whether or not that's actually going to work is another story. A Shadowblade Magnus is a terrifying thing indeed. I believe this was scouted out, though, as the tower ends up going down, and they are going to be able to finish off these shrines. Ooh,
yeah, DK Phobos. Maybe he's just feeling like he's safe enough with a 4-staff from FNG nearby.
That's a possibility. And Vanscore just going to, again, run his body into these towers and take it down now. So that's all the tier 2s down. Oh, Scandal looking in. Scary moment, jumps forward, crushes out, a call as well. They throw out the Ice Path from the Stolen Rubik. They pop BKB for DK Phobos and looking for the chase. Ice Path going to be off the mark. That's BKB down for Axe, and well, this might be the time to go. Everything ready, Aegis on Sven. They can fight.
Yeah, that was the best time to fish if you're Team Spirit, though. You see the Saiyan King leave, he's not there. You might as well try and take some sort of a good engagement. And they don't quite find it. But all costs use a BKB charge, not the largest deal. LQ will find themselves an easy shrine now, though.
Not wanting to go. Still 40 seconds before that BKB is back up. Top lane is being pressured in. You know, I'd love to see, honestly, Jakiro go back for like Boots of Travel almost and just try and go for the ultimate split pushing build. Could be a little bit tough, but moving in towards mid, they
it's smoke time.
Is under attack.
Ooh, hoping someone will get greedy here.
Well, there's that regen rune placed down.
Lawyer Brain going for the ancients.
Oh,
He's not gonna go. That was actually so close. But I mean, look at the Radiant Vision right now. They have all up here, no one's showing, no one's been pushing mid. There's no liquid fire or anything going on, so there's like, yeah, they're definitely around our jungle. Either they came down this way or they came this way. So wise move there from Blow Your Brain not to head up in that death trap.
He actually does still have the AC ready as well, so 1,800 gold on top of AC and everything else. Still not quite as farmed as the Tinker is, who's built into a Bloodstone as well as, you know, obviously the Ags and Aether Lens. But let's see how these next couple of minutes go. As the game goes on later, how do you value Team Spirit's lineup? Is it something where they can deal sort of with what LQ are throwing, or is this just always going to be heavily LQ favored?
So much of it just comes down to spells in the end, which is tough. I mean, we have these BKBs now, so maybe if we get our 5v5 and DK Phobos can pop at the right time, and BZZ will hop into his rage at the right moment, maybe that'll be the one that stops those follow-ups from Sanking and Rubik. But yeah, if there's a big RP, I mean, what can you do? Like, Scandal, he has the power in a lot of these cases. You're right, though. As BKBs wane, maybe Iceberg, you can turn that around with these lasers. I think you have to favor LQ, but it's certainly not an impossibility.
Okay.
We are starting to stack up with some pretty solid minus armor with that Deso. He's got a Basher for some control here, too. Might be able to chew through these war cries.
You can see that this might be a moment where Team Spirit could take a solid engagement. They have sent the Tinker back home, and only a couple of heroes remain on this high ground here, so we'll have to watch and see how this goes. But Team Spirit, at least for the moment, they have to respond to the Ion Shell, unfortunately. And this is one of the things is that now you see the Macro Pyre down. LQ realize that they're in the area, and they're not going to come back there.
They have done very well, though. I mean, that's Aegis. It's going to expire just in a second here, so they didn't get high ground with it. Tinker's still splitting. They're holding advantageous position down bottom, trying to bait this out, and they've been doing it for a long enough time that yeah, it sucks that it hasn't worked, but it's also impressive how long they're able to try and bait this out, because it makes it more and more likely that it's going to work against LQ. Because like, there's no way they waited this whole time. Like, look, they're all like running down bottom now.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and again, it's when Team Spirit take the fights, it goes terribly. But if they can keep this style of play up, this is a way for them to at least have a life in this game. If not being able to put themselves ahead, you know, pressuring out this bottom lane and maybe dealing a little bit of chip damage onto the range barracks. We'll have to see how it goes. The real item, Vanscore needs a Dragon Lance. Then he can hit these from far away.
Are under attack.
It's worked at this point. They are moving down here.
Yeah.
Now, this might tip them off.
Oh, FNG, if he ends up accidentally getting RP'd together with it, Funnick chasing him down. There's the crush. Now going to try and run out and away. And everybody doesn't want to RP it. They're going to get out. Wow.
He should RP that. He had Gem.
Oh, DK Phobos. Oh, vacuum anything. They got him. Oh, God. And that's the Lifestealer inside as well. BKB pop, but going to end up going down here as well. On the other side, though, you look at Vanscore. He took down the range barracks and going to try and TP out and away. Gets Yule Sceptered. And, well, he does have some more liquid fire, but he's just going to end up trying to... I don't know what he's doing here.
Oh, nice. Get him.
Chase.
Get that range racks. Or melee, rather. But, yeah, it won't matter anyway. The liquid fire would regen, but yeah, what happened with the axe? I mean, they blinked. I thought, oh,
he had his TP on cooldown.
He
had his TP on cooldown. Oh God, RP, FNG. Ugh. There's a Chrysalis and Gem on the ground also. Yeah, this has been a rough couple minutes.
He eventually found it. There you go. Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't opt for it the previous time, but works out in the end. Well, they danced around for a hell of a long time on Team Spirit.
And it's still not easy to take this. Scandal is going to be forced back with Shadowblade. Tinker Gaming, everybody.
Maybe with the next wave, they'll just beat KB, perhaps.
Oh, Tinker also has his sheep stick done.
Dire's middle tower
So
is under attack.
well, there's some answers here at the least.
Are fortified.
Look at Funnick. He doesn't care. He has a sheep stick himself. They actually found Funnick, though.
Dire's middle tower is under
Yeah, I
attack.
guess it's only a tower, so it's not worth committing too many resources for in terms of like you don't want to just like BKB and drill on into it or something unless you're guaranteeing a melee Rex. And back they go. I held off again. To be fair, they did take a fight like way down here, so it's hard to get all the lanes in that nice spot and go for the big push. So now we kind of get back to our Aegis timer. Still heavily favoring LQ. There's no doubt about that.
It's a 30,000
30,000
experience.
Holy.
15 net worth. That is a big one. And the thing that's crazy to me about this is that it still does feel like Team Spirit are in this game. It's not nearly that level of lead in terms of their ability to win this. It's still quite heavily in the favor of LQ. How do you see this changing over the next couple of minutes?
I don't know. I'm starting to scope out some of these level 25 talents. See what Sven wants to opt for. He just hit 25. So do I really need? I feel like the 65 damage is probably gonna be way more value, and yeah, he'll hop on into that one. So that's pretty sick. That's a lot of money when you think about like how much that would cost you in terms of items. That's pretty sick. Go talents.
I think that
Funnick will be next.
I think that Mag probably can't go for the shockwave cooldown because of the mana cost. Like I'm looking at it now, he's got 842 mana.
Dire's top tower
And
is under attack.
Might just be a little bit too much there. I don't know, maybe not. I could be wrong.
He's also only died once though. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Can you really waste that value? Think about the split push potential. It'd be
That's
rich.
true. And they do need to push out waves. Oh god, do they know that Vanscore is here? Oh no, Vanscore!
Man, this pocket gets searched so much these days. I'm actually surprised they're not considering the way this game's been going.
Oh my god! Vanscore behind enemy lines. Oh, if he walks out right now as sunlight's going by, that'd be so unfortunate. Nah, he's not gonna do it. They have this ward over here too.
1 minute left till Roche. Still in the game here for Team Spirit. Really all they can ask for at this point. Your life stealer. Your
Oh,
damage dealing
Vanscore,
hope.
no!
Oh,
Oh, didn't even kill off the creep wave. Yeah, they're gonna deward this.
Well, F&G, we'll see if he ends up investing into a third gem.
Oh, DK Phobos, he's got the sheep down. He went for the initiation, doesn't end up working. They get the kill, and Rubik had stolen Infest too, so Blow Your Brain is the one that gets the final shot.
Oh, did he sell his helm? Not even gonna backpack that. He ditched it straight up, so no creep to Scout Roche, but not a big deal. Enough map control that it
Radiant's
should be
top
easily in the
tower is
hands
under
of
attack.
LQ.
Ooh. Well, BZZ, they use RP, and that is going to be another one. He could potentially get to the creep wave. It is coming in. Oh, no, it's already dead over there. He's gone. And now also find Iceberg. Whew, that was really close.
Yeah, he did try and make some sort of play, I suppose, but has buyback. Again, still not quite GG.
They have found Lalik, though, and he was able to get the sheep stick off, so they get that kill. And now Gem on the ground also. Team Spirit, just when you think they're out, they keep on coming back in somehow.
Alright, nicely done. And that was F&G's gem, now returned back home. Nice guy. Doesn't have to buy another one now. But Aegis, we'll see if Scandal ends up getting that, if he wants to go really deep in YOLO, or if they want to... Oh, yeah, Bloody Brain will get the cheese. No, we'll take the Aegis.
Yeah. Still, the split push is going to continue, and Iceberg getting himself into a position here to start spamming out the waves, killing it before he even gets the other creep wave. They do have vision here. Funnick looking for one.
FNG, not the
Vanscore.
gem.
Oh, yeah. Yule Scepter lift up. Ice Path down as well. FNG, you need to get out. He has his TP in his backpack, so it's cooling down at a decreasing rate. And, oh, God. Now Funnick looking in there. Oh, God. All right, he's running away, and Blow Your Brain's gonna spot him. He does still have that
Wow.
TP in his backpack, but not gonna get
Yeah,
there.
he actually didn't see him. He was like just outside his field of vision.
God,
That was close. I suppose his point was on cooldown anyway, so not much he could have done, but
yeah.
Satanic for Blow Your Brain. Aegis. Armlet awaiting in the backpack. Can LQ finally do it? Can they take this? And it's only game 1, first off. So, again, you say just like impressive stuff from Team Spirit. It is impressive for sure. LQ looking much better than the previous series. Another snag out top here.
Yeah, and they got the BKB off already, so no chance for a sheep stick there. He is going to get the deny out the last second, but that definitely hurts at this point. You love your Tinker to be able to stay alive through those. Ooh, maybe they skin Sunlight and Funnick? Oh, nice catch there. FNG also getting caught by the stolen Ice Path. Gets the crush onto Sunlight. There's the amp damage as well. The counter call onto Sunlight as well. Dealing damage. Pops his BKB. Is able to find one. FNG still going to be controlled. Scandal there. They drop down the RP for one. Wall used as well for this, but maybe if they can take them all down, this is going to be enough to make them go for high ground.
God, that Bloodthorn. So much damage.
There's the buyback. They need them. Everybody has buyback, and they're going to need to use it right now.
It's been a long time holding racks. Tries to go for the aggressive force set.
Well, they have the Ice Path down, Macro Pyre as well, and BKB is still online as well as Satanic. It's just going to be so hard for them to get this kill. They get the catch on the Lolic, though, and that might be the turnaround that they need. The crush down as well. All 3 heroes on top of him, and Pearl Strike out and away. He is going to be chased. What? Able to walk away from this one. Iceberg now in trouble. Scandal looking for the chase. He's able to bring him down. Dead, but Knight needed buyback here. A vacuum back into 2 with the Stormhammer. Lolic reinitiates. Oh, God, blow your brain. Dealing too much damage here, and Vanscore also going to get ran down. Oh, God. All right, everybody's buying back, but I guess they don't have BKBs. Still very tough.
All right. Buyback blink on Vanscore. He's ready to get something done here. No Aghanim Scepter, sadly. He was looking at that for a very long time before finally going down after all his split pushing efforts. And still they hold racks. Kind of crazy, but that is what a shitload of buybacks can do for you. So wisely moving away from LQ, at least a little bit, maybe hoping someone else will show up, but then they find this ward. So they know that that is going to be an unlikely scenario.
40-13, and this might be, at least now for LQ, you have a way to win the game. Like, find the Tinker again, find who else who doesn't have it right now. Pretty much anybody.
Yeah,
and
they can kill them all, and it's fine.
And we talked about how dangerous this could be for Team Spirit. Like, Lifestealer is just not going to be able to kill off Blow Your Brain. He's sitting right now passively with, what is this going to be, 28 armor. Like, even if you get on top of him, it's just not enough.
Yeah. Now, they certainly had a draft focused around that, the blinking. You really wanted that big snowball opportunity where there's like boots blink up on the Tinker, and then he's TPing into your gank scenarios and just showing up on the wave while you get the kill with the Slider and the Lifestealer and the Axe, and they weren't able to get that going. Only 13 kills the whole game, not going to be enough to win, at least not easily with this sort of a lineup. So they've just been high ground defense for so long, and finally they might breach your Axe here.
Yeah. The unfortunate part is that with the Aegis on Below Your Brain, you can't even step up to him. Like, I don't know what you're hoping to do here, but takes a range barracks.
30 seconds left on it.
Oh, all right. Aggressive Force Staff dealing the damage there. They're going to be able to get him with the Ice Path as well. Call, no BKB used. That's the Aegis down. Lolic also controlled here. The damage comes in. Vacuum Wall onto 2 with the RP. They're dealing a lot, but is it going to be enough? They have BKBs already popped. DK Phobos low. Can they kill him? It looks like it's going to happen. It's also BZZ getting slowed down now, but they're controlling Blow Your Brain. There is the Aegis, but no, they're not going to be able to do it. Nice blink away by Iceberg, but now 100 seconds with nobody. Iceberg would need to perform a miracle.
That was a nice use of the Bloodthorn in that fight from Scandal too. Just grab the Tinker. He's like, you know, I'll stun everyone else. I'm just gonna silence you. He has no way to deal with it. So Iceberg just sat there for the whole duration of Bloodthorn, unable to assist his allies as they all slowly fell.
And really good play right here as well by Scandal, able to slow down Iceberg, and that is going to be it. GG, 45-14. It was almost a 40,000 net worth lead, but and up until the last couple of fights, it felt like Team Spirit still could have been in it.
Yeah, potentially, but very nice job by LQ. Just patience. They had this team fight lineup. They didn't get baited into any bad fights in the very early game where the Axe and the Slider maybe could have made that difference. They got all their blinks up, and then they just went as 5 for what seemed like the entire game. And there were some scarier moments in terms of split push and objectives, but it seemed like they understood they were well ahead in terms of net worth for the vast majority of that game. easily able to close it on out for themselves. So impressive stuff, especially compared to their first series performance versus Team Spirit.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it just goes to show the decision making in the draft, making a good decision to ban out that Chen. We'll have to see how Team Spirit respond to this. Of course, they did 2-0 LQ last time. Trent, any final thoughts on this game or things that you're hoping to see in game number 2 as we move into that?
I hope they go for the Chen ban again, because I want to keep seeing different stuff from Team Spirit, but maybe a draft that has more than a single facet to itself.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, tune in just a little bit. We're going to be back with game number 2, LQ versus Team Spirit. If LQ win this, they are going to move on into the playoffs, and Team Spirit would be knocked out. Winner goes on to face Empire in the playoffs in just a couple of days. So see you guys in just a second. Again, Lyrical as well as Trent Pax, your 2 casters. We'll be back in a bit.